We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Week 9, Sunday pregame on the Sports Box. Brian Attar, Drew Trammell, Anthony Medio, and Tony Quigley in this virtual Tecmo Dome Cowboys bar area. I'm sure he'll be back shortly, having a little bit of tech issues. But it is Week 9 in the NFL. It is November. We are getting closer and closer. This is closer to the midpoint, right? The midpoint of the season will be next week, really after games are played tomorrow night. So we'll be able to start kind of projecting out a little more about playoffs and everything else. The deadline's coming up on Tuesday. We'll talk through that. Like, follow, and share. Make sure you spread this out so we can break that Facebook algorithm, which hates us oh so much. And try to get this out to your friends and family. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you with this extra hour of sleep? I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because it feels like noon. I'm actually kind of hungry while I'm at it.
Brian, good morning. Drew, good morning. Yeah, man, feeling good. Beautiful day. Another Sunday. Here with the boys.
What's up, guys? Yeah, man, I'm feeling great. Just got done doing a TikTok live. We're building up Sports Box as much as we can in that on that app, dude, so we can freaking become millionaires, hopefully, and then once we become millionaires, the Chinese are going to take it away from us.
That's pretty much the
Listen, after listening to us last week, I don't think anyone are millionaires because I think we struck out more than we hit. Good, thanks to Tony, because I know I didn't hit anything.
Yeah, we had a few. I mean, we do. You know, all we got to do is if anybody ever wants to chop up a highlight reel after that to show our picks. You know.
I don't know. I don't think we want that.
Not last week.
Yeah, we hit a few. No, I did. It was pretty profitable.
Actually, I believe the one thing I definitely got right, to give myself full credit, was I said that the Niners would get a pick last week, and they did. They broke. The Niners would get a pick. They broke their big streak.
Who are they playing?
Houston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I just thought they'd get a pick. Neither here
You
nor
also
there.
said somebody would throw a pick last week too. Tua,
Probably, yeah.
which is odds on.
And that's exactly where we'll start, kids. We will start with the Thursday night game. The Ravens go and beat the Dolphins 28-6. In his return, Lamar Jackson 18-23 for 204 and 4 touchdowns. How many touchdowns was that, Tom? Real quick, Tom, how many touchdowns was that? There was 4 touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. Tua Tagovailoa, 25 of 40 for 261 and a pick. Derrick Henry on the ground, 19 for 119, no scores. Devon Achane, who's been a disappointment for your fantasy teams, 14 of 67, but 6 for 39 through the air. Zay Flowers, 64 yards. Waddle, 82 yards. And Mark Andrews back with Lamar, 2 scores, 22 yards on 2 catches. We'll talk about the Ravens here in a minute, but I think the story of this game, frankly, is the Dolphins' complete and utter ineptitude. This thing has fallen off the rails so quickly. This is not because they're missing Tyreek Hill, guys. Like, this is, it's just bad all around. There's not a lot of joy in Mudville.
Although the ownership seems to have some pretty, they fired their guy this week. I guess the reason why that was happening is because he was too inactive. He wasn't trying to make things happen, And now, I forget the guy who's stepping up next, but he's supposed to be out there trying to wheel and deal. Everybody's on the market, including Waddle. So, and it makes sense for him, really. I mean, it's kind of, we talked about it the other day. It's the obvious move is to kind of offload Chubb and some of these other guys, Phillips and these guys that are, you could actually get some solid return for. They're saying they want a huge haul for Jalen Waddle. I don't see how that's the player that people want, to be honest with you. I mean, that's people are looking for edge rushers, to kind of make a difference. And Tua, I think Tua's days are numbered because it seems like for whatever reason, even though McDaniel's a little quirky, that Tua is going to be the one that's going to be hitting the bench before McDaniel gets fired. So I don't know if they're going to go Ewers or who over there. Who's the other backup they have over there? Young kid.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, exactly. Which, hey, maybe Zach Wilson has that dead, dead cat bounce that everybody else is having. You see Darnold, you see, all these other people that escaped New York. Like what is it, Snake Piscatelli? So he's he's out there. Maybe he kind of gets revitalizes the offense, but there a lot of changes have to be made, and it looks to see that ownership is kind of making forward to get those changes done.
Yeah, they're right back to looking bad. I mean, they bought themselves a week with the dismantling of Atlanta the week before. I think they felt a little good about themselves, and they thought they could maybe hang in this game, but it was clear with Lamar coming back that they were overmatched. They actually moved the ball up and down the field, the Dolphins, but they just couldn't get it in the end zone. They're totally incompetent in that way. So it's pretty much the same for the Dolphins. That's for sure.
I'm just gonna keep on going the same way, same route here, dude. Chris Grier should have been gone a long time ago. Happy to see that he's gone. McDaniel to finish out the season, I think that makes sense. You don't want to change that much in Miami, but I thought McDaniel should have been fired once he lost that locker room. Where do the Dolphins go from here? I'm trading, Brian. I'm trading all the way. This is what we talked about last week. The assets that doesn't go with the future of Miami. I give them away as much as I can. The problem is you got a dead cap issue with Tua because he just signed that deal, I believe, last year. So I don't know what the future is going to hold for that part. We've seen teams get rid of contracts and eat that dead cap like the Broncos did with Russ. So my guess is the same with Quig. The days of Tua being a starting quarterback after this year in Miami is done. Bradley Chubb, Phillips, the two biggest pieces that I think you can move and get some draft capital with. If they're looking for Fitzpatrick. If you're looking for a big haul with Jalen Waddle, I don't know how they envision that. I mean, he's not that. He's not Tommy Gill.
Yeah, I don't really. What team?
His size
will give you a big price for that guy? Honestly,
he doesn't run all 9 routes. His size isn't big. He's always hurt after a big catch. Always holding on to something. His body's, it's not broad like most receivers can handle taking hits. I just don't see a lot of people offering a big deal package for him. The main piece that they have is A-Chain. And I don't think they will move him away from him because he's still in a rookie deal. So other than that, Miami is just shit.
Yeah, I don't see it. I know that there was. So Adam Schefter had posted something earlier about how they could get out of Tua's contract, and it still wasn't pretty, no matter what. Somebody posted it. Was it Adam Schefter? It might not have been Adam Schefter. But anyway, I mean, Tua's contract is a problem. It's a ton of dead cap next year. I don't think they can get out of it scot-free. It's actually the 6th highest quarterback contract in the league right now. If it's a post-June 1st trade, they can kind of contain it a little bit, eat some of that money if they need to.
Who's trading for him, though, Brian? I mean, when he came into the league and what his factor was compared to him and head-to-head with Justin Herbert, and I guess Herbert has had his issues with turnovers as well, but Tua was the safer one, like the facilitator, make the right decisions, just get the ball to Achane and Hill and Waddle and all this other stuff. But now he leads the league in turnover, interceptions. He throws. I texted my buddy during the game. He throws a very soft ball with no velocity behind it. He was trying to throw a dig route, and it looked like it took forever to get there. And I don't know if that's injury related or just he's just trying to be too cute with the ball or whatever it is. I mean, we already know he doesn't have the greatest arm strength to begin with, but it was a factor that you can't overlook. So I think to his value, it just isn't there. I can't see them trading him at any point that for a team to want to move forward with him.
Well, don't forget the injury history on top of it.
Yeah, right, exactly. One hit. I mean, how you trade for this guy? I mean, it was a risky contract with no other options, but I think you got to sit him and see where you have to go. McDaniels is a lame duck coach. You keep him because you just have to. There's no, you really don't want to invest too much else in there. Really, I mean, there's there's nobody on that staff, I think, that they want to throw in there and take responsibility for this to be the interim coach, which is an unfair label too, because then it's just a lame duck. Who's the interim coach? The other, what was it, with Atlanta or somebody like that? And they did a great job, and he didn't get the job. I'm trying to forget who it was.
Wasn't it Vegas? Wasn't the Raiders? Wasn't it?
It was the Raiders.
It was Machete.
Absolutely.
Machete.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like so. If you're an interim coach, you're lame duck anyway. So just stay with what you got. Let them fail out, and
They didn't get the job and went to Green Bay and still with the same position as a special teams coordinator.
That was a weird situation there. But there's nobody you're going to elevate that's going to turn this thing around.
Nope.
Tankathon currently has them with the 4th pick in the draft.
Keith McDaniels might be higher,
They're the only, so they're 2-7. The only 1-win teams are obviously the Saints, Jets, and Titans. Titans are not in the quarterback market. The Saints are certainly in the quarterback market, I would think. The Jets should be.
Then that's Jets and Dolphins game. The idiot, whoever wins that, he screws himself.
And the quarterback market is not hot.
No.
So it's not going to be. Someone will get overhyped, but it's not a hot class.
No, it's not.
Well, last year wasn't a hot class either, and didn't stop him from taking Cam at number 1. I mean,
you're right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It really doesn't make sense, and you're a U fan, so you've seen Cam, and Cam was putting up numbers. And sorry to bring up Miami today, by the way, but Cam never struck us as a number 1 overall pick ever. I mean, he had some nice,
I had Jackson as 1.
So it was a low head scratcher there. I don't know, as bad as the Dolphins were, how bad was the secondary of the Ravens though? I mean, without a couple turnovers here and there.
They were moving the ball. They were moving the ball up and down the field, I thought.
Yeah, it seems like everybody named Washington was turning the ball over. I mean, they were moving the ball on them, right? And they just weren't getting the job done. And I mean, it was great to see Lamar back, and I still cringe every time he throws the ball to Mark Andrews because I'm waiting for him to drop it when it counts. So it's like, it's good, but you know what? They're going to have to be on their A game. Isaiah Likely was a nice little comeback with, he had a big game, but yes, Lamar can pull out wins against bad teams right now, but this defense, you're going to have to see if they're going to be able to sustain against anybody. And I guess they just traded Jair Alexander.
Well, he can't even walk.
Good luck with that one. I mean,
he's a cancer.
That's how desperate the Eagles are.
Well, yeah. So I mean, on the other side of this coin, we keep talking about this. We said as we bring the schedule up here, we talked about, are the Ravens about to go on the biggest comeback of all time, coming back from 1-5 potentially, and then you look at the schedule and you look at it and say, okay. What game are they even not favored in the rest of the way other than Green Bay? At Green Bay?
Yeah.
I mean, if they can get to 10 wins, again, you have 2 losses if you can get to 10 wins. Let's say that Green Bay wins a loss. I mean, you go to Minnesota. Again, we'll talk about McCarthy here in a second. Again, you got divisional games against teams that you normally, the 2 against Pittsburgh. I mean, that last game against Pittsburgh might be for the division, depending what Pittsburgh does. But I mean, there's not a lot of resistance in that schedule for the Ravens. I don't think.
No.
Fox.
In the early part of that schedule, I would say Cleveland, just because Cleveland always gives them the toughest matchups from the past. But
defensively, yeah.
Everything else.
I mean, Brian, you're right. And that's why we talked about last week when we're like, hey, who's going to be doing it? Listen, Lamar comes back. They have a favorable schedule. But this defense, I mean, a couple turnovers, they're going to be, Cleveland will be in that game, in a couple turnovers. And Flacco and that Cincinnati offense and how they're putting up points and kind of getting it, that Bengals game might be a shootout, Streaming people. Yeah, I don't know. I got my hands full these days.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously we're not getting into politics. Tuesday's election day. If you're going to vote for a team that can do this, I think that the stars are aligning for Baltimore, 100%. They got through the tough part of their schedule, right? Like these games against Kansas City and the Rams and stuff like that. Like they're, like you're through that now. Like this early part of the schedule right here. Like, yeah, you lost to Houston. Maybe that's the one, but you might have lost to the Rams anyway. So like, whatever. You've gotten through the Buffalo and the KC, like the Detroit. Like this is the part of the schedule where you can. I don't use the word coast, but there's just not a lot here. I mean, it's not even a stiff wind. It's a breeze.
That defense looks so bad, though, Brian. I don't know if it's. I don't know if there's anything.
I'm not picking them to do anything in the playoffs. What I'm saying is that if this is the slate of games I have to go through, and I can lose 2 games and still get to 10 wins, I can pick 2 games to Green Bay and flex whatever. Yeah. If they split with Pittsburgh.
That's why they have good odds to win the division.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's why we looked that up yesterday. And listen, if they make the playoffs, I'm going to have to be in on them. I mean, it's going to be them Buffalo and KC.
But back to your initial point then, Tony.
Easily.
But their defense is crap. So now when you start playing playoff games on the road, unless you win the division, but pretty much on the road, even if against the Buffaloes, the Kansas Cities, the Chargers, the other teams in the AFC, like I'm not bullish on that, right? Like, I'm not bullish on them doing something if they get there because their defense is not what it's been, right? The Baltimore defense has always been known as that hard-hitting, hardball, like that's been their MO. You're not getting any of that right now, right? So could going on this slate of games like give them confidence, turn them around? Sure, it's football and everything that happens. But if it doesn't, they don't, even if they win the division at 11-6 or whatever, like I don't see them being viewed the way they were viewed in years past, which for what it's worth, they were viewed in years past as a threat and they faltered. So maybe not having those expectations somewhere is actually a positive. You can spin that way. Again, I just don't see a scenario now. Again, with the Bengals down with no Burrow, Pittsburgh's whatever, and Cleveland's a disaster. There's just not a lot of resistance, and they got the bulk of their schedule remaining in their division. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the remaining 9 are in the division.
Listen, bringing Lamar.
5 of their remaining 9. I can't add.
Yeah.
5.
Bringing
Our
Lamar
producer
back.
can't count. That's awesome.
No, I'm not a numbers guy.
No.
Bringing Lamar back. I mean, you saw they're averaging 30-some points. So I mean, you got a defense. If you hold your opponent below 30, I mean, you got a chance to win. That's what
here's the
we need to go ahead.
Does defense even matter in the NFL anymore?
It seems like it doesn't.
Because it matters. It's more situational, right? Like, these teams are putting up points here, there, and everything else like that. It's more like offensive mistakes than defensive success.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So who makes the less mistakes? And then it's going to come down to, at the end of the game, that 1 or 2 defensive stops that matters. And that's the key. I mean, listen, I've been watching the Cowboys all year. Last week against Denver, they had plenty of opportunity to win the game. Dak played awful. Dak played awful. All they need is 1 stop at the end of the game, and they win. These shootouts and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. And I don't know if there could be a true defensive team that goes out there and, it hasn't been working for Cleveland, and that's a menace. I mean, it's crazy to say. It's more like you need situational defensive performances,
absolutely,
than the overall whole game of good defense.
Look at Houston, who's been one of the best defenses in football. Even Carolina.
Also, I mean, we're yes, Lamar went off on Thursday night, but you have to remember who they're playing. And I mean, the Miami's defense is bottom 5 in almost every category that you would look in defensively. So it's like we need to see what this team could be like against a Cleveland team, against a Minnesota team that has an okay defense. Now JJ's back. We'll see what they're able to do on that part. But at the end of the day, man, yes, they have a favorable schedule. Yes, they have one of the best quarterbacks in the game today. And we'll see how this offense flows. But I mean, I'm not betting against them. So.
Well, their next opponent is going to be the Minnesota Vikings, who get JJ McCarthy back today. It's funny when you think about it. Today's only going to be his 3rd career start. And I feel like he's been around forever. It's only been a year and a half, but he's been discussed at length. Does this move the needle for Minnesota in your opinion, right? Minnesota comes in today. They're 3-4. They're going to go to Detroit today, which we'll talk about. They're a heavy dog in that game. Draw your own conclusion from that. This was a high pick for the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer. Like, you love the situation that he's in. Guys have gone through Minnesota and have had their careers resurrected. It's like Sam Darnold, for example, and to a lesser extent, Daniel Jones. So when you look at Minnesota, the situation that they're in the tough division, does McCarthy move the needle?
I think any quarterback can move the needle after what we saw Carson Wentz the last couple of weeks. But is the needle moving at a great length? I don't think so. The kid's been hurt, tore meniscus last year. What is it, a hamstring or a calf this year so far? That's why he didn't play. We haven't seen enough tape on him. And when he has played earlier this year, when he did start, he didn't look that great. Sometimes grass isn't always green on the other side. We had a guy in Sam Darnold last year. Yeah, he didn't show up when it mattered most, but he was productive, to say the least, about a guy who used to see ghosts. And he was doing great last year under that system with Kevin O'Connell. And it's going to be very interesting if the Vikings don't see production from JJ this year. Do you go back and question yourself, like, why did we let go of Sam, especially what Sam signed with in Seattle? It's basically just a 1-year deal that they can opt out of. Seattle can, if they don't like what they see, but he's doing great in Seattle. So I'm interested to see how JJ is today. But overall, man, I don't know. This is going to be – I'm 50-50 on him.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. I feel like it's such a small sample size. To me, he's kind of just still a rookie. To me, I don't see any. I know he beat the Bears that night. Which was all right. It was a little bit of everything, but I haven't seen enough. So to me, he's still a rookie playing, trying to feel his way through this league. So I don't even know what to expect. I really don't.
Me either.
I think it does move the needle, and I don't know which needle Brian's talking about, but I'm talking about for a franchise in general, right? Because I think it's not an immediate fix of the situation, but this is something that you need to get this kid on the field. You need to see what he needs. You need a 10, 15 game sample to figure out what you want to do. It was a little bit of a surprise pick. His injury history is troubling because he does need to use his mobility to be a successful quarterback. Because he throws on the run very well, extremely accurate. He needs to get the game speed and everything kind of settled down too. Minnesota has enough on offense. They're getting their tackles back this week, where I think that, listen, Jefferson and Naylor, and Jones and Mason, like these guys, most of them are Hawkinson. I can't leave out too. You have some high-level offensive players that have shown that they're very good NFL players. Everything's around them. Give them the resources, put them out there, and let them play. So for as far as Minnesota being a contender this year and everything like that, I'd be highly surprised it is. But this is the needle moving in the right direction for the franchise in general to make their decision. Daniel Jones wasn't coming back. He didn't want to come back for whatever reason. I guess the Sam Darnold thing kind of ran its course. And you got to kind of lean on the Minnesota coaching staff because they knew what they had in Darnold there, and they watched them firsthand. And they still went with the McCarthy. They decided to go with McCarthy. So it's going to be interesting to see how it turns off long term. Just like Baker and Darnold and Daniel Jones, it doesn't look like it was fair to judge these kids after 3 games. Well, it's going to be the epic moment where see where this franchise goes and what direction goes. But you know what? All I want to see is play the full season out, see what the hell happens.
This is their schedule. Again, they're 3-4. So if you need 9 wins, you got to find 6 from this group. I don't think you're getting 1 today. Then you get a rejuvenated Ravens team. Divisional game against the Bears, at Green Bay, at Seattle, where Sam Darnold is going to be motivated to play well. You got some NFC East games, and you're back with Detroit and Green Bay. Like I don't see them I didn't think they were a playoff team regardless coming into the year, and I'm high on
Really?
McCarthy. Yeah, I'm high on McCarthy. Not I love the situation that he's in. Right, you have an excellent head coach, a ton of offensive weapons, good line. Like you're in a situation where you should be fine. But to Ant's point, the guys played 3 games. For all these discussions that we have around. We rush players, and Kevin O'Connell said the great quote last year. I don't have it in front of me, but just about, organizations fail players more than players fail organizations, something to that effect. The same people that will tell you got to give guys time are the ones saying Minnesota has to move on from this player. And I just think that that's premature on both ends. Like, I just think you have not seen enough, right? You thought enough of this kid to go up in the draft, get him. I want to say, was it 10th overall, something around there? I mean, yeah, you make a decision to go to leave, to walk from Darnold. Yeah, I mean, maybe again, the question always was, was that Darnold or was that the situation? Right. So, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of both. Darnold's playing well in Seattle. That's great. Good for him. Minnesota wants to go younger quarterback, and they did, and we'll see where it goes. Like, I don't think they're a team where, they got to blow it up and start over, go get another quarterback in the draft. Like, I think you have to see this through.
Absolutely. Well, he was a developmental pick anyway, right? I mean, you see that a lot. It was very, very obvious when they picked him. That was, what was going on is it was for long-term development and what he has. I think they rushed him into the lineup really, after trying to get him there, battling Darnold in camp and that kind of stuff. So they were kind of forcing them down our throats as far as trying to be ready, a little bit premature. And you see what happened last year. And then this year, I mean, you guys are all big fantasy guys, and most of the world is nowadays. His fantasy ranking was like off the charts for what it was. I mean, it was all for a guy who has as least experience as he does. But then again, he's throwing a Jetta and Addison and everybody else around. So, I think that people in Minnesota have to temper their expectations for immediate success. But when you have the schedule up here, Brian, Baltimore, Chicago, Washington, Dallas. I mean, there's a plenty of room now. Whether they win these games, that's to be seen. But there's no reason why the offense doesn't have success against this schedule remaining.
I still maintain that Minnesota just cheaped out. They didn't want to pay Darnold and just go on a rookie contract. I truly believe that.
There might be some truth to that. I mean, sure. But, I mean, again,
But why make the pick to begin with, though?
Sure, yeah.
I think they brought Darnold in as just competition or a back, like in case something happened, and then something happened, and then Darnold played well. Like, I don't think that was in the plans.
Well, I mean, remember how Russell Wilson made his splash into the NFL? Yeah. He just brought him in camp, and next thing you know, he was speeding out. Who was?
Flynn. Matt Flynn, wasn't it?
Matt Flynn, correct. Yep, good call.
Yeah, because he got the huge contract.
Yeah.
For throwing like 4 touchdowns in one game.
He had like 6 touchdowns in a game one time, and he just got paid big off of that.
Yep.
So, if it's not going to be Miami, because they say that he'll finish the year, take him at their word. Who's next to go?
Aaron Glenn, probably.
You don't think he makes it the year?
No, you don't think he's going to make it?
Listen, I think he should. I think he should make it. I think he should make it. But the misuse of Justin Fields, the utter shit show that he has been shown with clock management and everything like that, he just might not be the guy for the job. But I think if you're going to invest in a coach, you have to see what's going on in the locker room and day-to-day operations. So I think he's right for a picking, though. That's for sure.
I don't know why. I still think Pete Carroll's going to get hacked. But
really?
Said a couple weeks ago, I think, on the show. But if I had to pick, just based off of everything that this guy has been going through, I feel like he was on a trend and now they're back down. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Gannon, Arizona. It's just constantly just up and down production, seesaw production. not having a backup plan that works for the defense, because you sign all these defensive players and pieces and nothing's working for them defensively. A lot of injuries he's had to deal with. I understand that part, but I mean, to be a head coach 3 seasons in and not make the playoffs, and I don't see Arizona making the playoffs at all this year.
No.
I don't know why a lot of people were high on him. I don't understand that, but
well, I was one of those people
Yeah.
because it was the defense. The defense is there. Every piece of that defense is there. They brought in Sweat. They have they have secondary. They have good defense. If you looked at how they won last year, which is the running game, which both their running backs are out this year, it's their defense, and that's what I bought in on. And the offense is just inept. And they do have some playmakers that they should get to it, but that's what they really sold me was their defense.
I think Sweat was the benefit off of that monstrous D line. He had a lot of one-on-ones. He's not going to have that in Arizona. And also the Budda Baker's great, but their corners are not that great. And I wasn't a fan of their free. The Mike and Will's not that great either. I in the offensive line, they only improved at one spot. But I mean, I'm not a Kyle Murray guy, so I just never have been.
Is.
Well, the Arizona had to be because they gave him a contract, so which was stupid by them.
Yeah, I mean, just the who was it?
That was another tough one.
Another tough decision. Yeah, I'm gonna go with John again.
I think honestly, if you look at it, across the board, and you face one in Dallas, and you're going to face one in Chicago soon too. And you're looking at you invest in these quarterbacks that never won anything or just have potential or everything like that. Like if you don't invest in them, as we just told, Minnesota's looking bad right now, right? If you don't invest in them, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yep.
I mean, if they don't go with Kyler Murray, what the hell do they have?
I think you paint yourself into a corner, right? I like to say that like teams are they don't have the appetite to hit that reset button, right? And that's the one position where when you make a change at quarterback, like that's a reset button. Like that, you can change your receivers, your running back, you do whatever you want to. Quarterbacks at the end of the day, cornerstone of the franchise. So like if that's where you're making a change, like that's where head coaches lose jobs, that's where GMs lose jobs. Like these guys get tied to these players, right? So to that effect, like and I don't know if KOC was the one who decided that they wanted McCarthy. If it doesn't work out for McCarthy, does that mean that like that front office moves on because of the decision that they made? It's one of those things where again, you are tied to the success of the players you bring in, specifically the quarterback, right? Not many guys survive a quarterback pick not working. The guy in Arizona did with Josh Rosen. Don't know why. He should have gone with him, whatever. How he survived Carson Wentz, whatever. The point is that like usually they don't. I would be very curious, and it's not so much during the season. It all depends on what happens in Buffalo. Like at some point, if they don't win, it's like you just can't keep running this back.
You said the head coach survived with Josh Rosen?
The head coach was fired. The GM was.
The GM.
The GM. So I
listen.
said,
I'll stand behind it. I still don't understand how Josh Rosen is in the league after watching him in college. That fucking kid did everything. He did everything, but he was a fucking. I guess he was just too big of a jerk off or whatever it is, and too full of himself. He was trying to make those Brett Favre throws without the Brett Favre success, and it's just that guy had everything come out of college. Him and Stidham, which Stidham is actually still in the NFL, but he has a different mindset than Rosen does. But it's interesting that he got out of there. But it shows you when you invest in a quarterback that has questionable traits, right? We're talking about. I talked about Dak. I talked about Caleb. I didn't talk about Justin Herbert, right? Because Justin Herbert has the prototypical stuff. Justin Herbert, as Drew unfortunately finds out, hasn't won shit. And I mean he looked bad losing in the playoffs. So mentally, but we haven't talked about that because he's the prototypical. There's not a lot of risk. He can run. He can throw. He has the building blocks up. When you take a risk of like Kyler Murray,
Tony frozen.
Oh, yeah, Tony froze.
He was about to drop knowledge too. Like
yes, he was.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, keep it there and screenshot it.
I'm getting it right now.
Like the Godfather. Trying to make us a deal.
Let me tell you something.
I got it.
Let me tell you something.
There
he is. There it is. He's back.
Frozen
He's
there
back.
for a second. Drew, I got one. You want to see the one I got of you? You just look very confused in this photograph.
Oh man.
You look. I look like a coach that got fired, right?
Yeah. No, this guy looks like a coach that got fired. That's it.
Jesus. Wait, hold on. I want to hear what Tony was going to finish saying.
Tony, you froze like this, like you're the Godfather. So can you just basically go
where did I leave off? I'm sorry, gentlemen.
I heard you guys say how Herbert hasn't won anything, but he's the prototypical quarterback, and then that's when you froze.
Right, that's why he gets a pass, in regards to that kind of stuff, because multiple coaches look at Justin Herbert and say, I could work with him, I could do this, I could do that, I could do everything. He could throw the whole route tree. He for the most part, and he still has potential, even though he doesn't have success. Somebody like Kyle Murray plays a very specific way. He's undersized, injury prone, so it's a death sentence it's more of a dice roll if a coach takes a job like Arizona. With everything, like that, because you're going to want it with Jacoby Brissett as your quarterback for 4 games a year, because he gets hurt. And even if you want to run your offense, he isn't very conducive to running his offense, and as I said earlier in the year, that, trickle down effect hurts Marvin Harrison Jr. And then, there are people on his staff. So, Arizona's success was running the ball, make a play here and there, and defense last year hasn't translated this year, so I could definitely see him being fired.
What would it take for Sean McDermott to be let go in Buffalo?
Not
a blizzard, and he can't get to the stadium.
They're getting a new stadium. Will he get there? Will he get there?
By the way, this we're keeping this one. That was a screenshot.
That works.
I'd like to share one bit of video with you, and I would like you to react to it. I'd like you to tell me if you agree with this person who you've seen before. You may think I probably share some opinions with this person. I'd just like to hear what you have to say.
Nick?
No.
Oh.
Regression mentally of the game
that
when I watch, it's more trait. We value traits and not skill.
Do you feel like that pendulum has swung too far the other way?
It is flag football for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like when they run out of the pocket, they feel like, well, they can't be touched. I think it sets them back because it's not forcing them to play in the pocket and learn how to diagnose things and develop a real skill. I don't think running is a skill. I think running is a trait. I think learning how to read coverages, diagnose defenses, come up with game plans, come up with better strategy. That to me is a skill. That's what Peyton Manning had. That's what Drew Brees had.
Courtesy of whatever podcast I stole that from. Dude, perfect. Almost athletes. Anyway, that sounds a lot to me like me, frankly. Just thoughts on that generally?
I mean, like most things, he's 100% correct. A skill is something you can work hard for and attain, and running is a God's given ability for whatever. I mean, obviously you can work hard and get faster and improve that kind of stuff, but there's only certain metrics that you're going to attain, like that, right? So, at my height, I was hitting maybe a 4.5, 4.6 40 as fast as I ever was. I don't think no matter how hard I'm trained, I'm never running that 4.12.
Well, here's So I interpreted that differently. I interpreted that less about the ability to run and the quick decision to run, right? From a cerebral standpoint, right? So what he's saying is that they don't sit there, they're not in the pocket, they don't play in the pocket, diagnose the defense and try to make a play. It's one of those things where you always say, look at the sideline. If something's not open, you run, right? So it's one of those things where they don't have the between the ears part of it that he's really referencing, where sit back, because again, you can't get hit if you run. So just do that. Get positive yards because that at least moves the ball forward. It's more volume of plays versus success rate of plays, through the air. So it's not necessarily first read and run, but like you're not, because you have that ability to run, you lean on it, right? So again, like he said, Brady never did that. Peyton never did that. Breeze never did that because that's not how they were built. They had to produce from within the pocket. That was who they were. The modern game, there's very few guys that fit that mold. And you can say, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a terrible thing personally. That's just my view on the sport, right? But when I see guys like a Joe Burrow, like a Justin Herbert, the guys that I always point to that I think are the best passers in the league, some of them run, but it's not a central part of their game. Some of these guys coming up now, it is a very central part of their game. That to me, I think, is where football's gotten worse. And that's the way I interpreted what he said, maybe because I wanted to interpret it that way, but that's the way that I interpreted it. So that's just my take on it.
I mean, you're right to an extent, and the way that you have to see it is like guys like Lamar Jackson, they've developed into not just running to, as their first option. And that's where you get the differences between guys who can develop that trait. Now, the guys that you mentioned, they couldn't run. Manning couldn't run. Brady couldn't run. I mean, they didn't have that ability to run and make people miss and wow everybody. Somebody who has to run more is Josh Allen in certain situations. He's kind of changed his way he plays, and a little bit. He's still running, sort of, kind of, but it's not like as a weapon. The perfect is the measurement of both worlds, right? You have somebody who's a mobile quarterback that could run and know the right time to run. And I think that's what Brady was trying. The right time to run, not one read and tuck and go. That's not really what we're looking at right now. I don't even think a guy like last year, Jaden Daniels, he doesn't do that. I mean, there's more progression. I think in essence, he's right. But when you look at what we have on the field right now, I think it's a little short-sighted.
I took it two different ways. First of all, he should be shitting on the colleges that don't develop quarterbacks.
100%.
It shouldn't be just on the NFL developing quarterbacks.
Well, hold on, Drew, hold on. That's a good point, but let's not jump on it, because the development of college quarterbacks right now is absolutely atrocious.
Yes.
But if I'm going to sit behind my guy, I'm transferring. If I'm going to go over here, I'm transferring. If I'm not playing right away, I'm transferring. They don't allow coaches to develop quarterbacks in this present day in the last couple of years. Now, prior to that, they still weren't doing a good job developing. But even guys like Joe Burrow, Ohio State, transfer to LSU. It's a very short window of allowing a coach to work with a quarterback to.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's why it's a double-edged sword.
And
let me
college coaches, you have to win. So they have different mindset and concerns or how they run their team. You know what I mean? They're every win counts in college.
I'm gonna take it a step further, Brian, because I do have experience and I can talk about it. High school is the same ways too.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways, high school is the same way, where we're gonna do a lot of RPOs. And a lot of just first read. If you don't see it, then run. Now, on the flip side of it, I won't be long. On the flip side, he named Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and himself, three of arguably the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. If you want to go the debate,
and slowest,
those three are also the slowest. Which I don't think. Yes, I understand it's a God-given skill, like Quigg said. He'll never run that 4.1, 4.2, but you can get faster. You can get stronger, and it's a benefit to have as a back pocket to be able to leave a collapsed pocket and to be able to throw on the run, to be able to escape the pocket and make something happen. I mean, we could go back in the 90s where Steve Young made a career out of it and was very successful in doing it.
John
Elway, the list goes on and on. I even would say that Brett Favre has some quickness in him to be able to escape the pocket when he needed to. There's things that you're able to do to be able to run. I wouldn't consider it a trait. It's a skill. And I disagree with Brett, and I can't believe I'm disagreeing with him. I disagree with him on just that aspect. Everything else, I 1,000% agree, because it is a one read run. If the first read isn't there, I'm bouncing. If my X isn't hitting that spot on that coverage, that Sean McVay loves to do with Stafford, which is a brilliant film, but I'm running, and that's an issue with the NFL today. We just had a conversation about this, me and a couple of my boys who are scouts in college. It's it's getting the game is getting really bad from a quarterback standpoint.
Yes, it is.
But the game overall, which we're overlooking, is becoming an effing flag football game, and it's sick. It's not like the shit's getting ridiculous. They got to look into it. It's bad, dude, because defense should matter.
If the quarterback couldn't give themselves up, I wonder how many of these guys would actually still run.
Half of them don't know how to slide.
Listen, playing the position, it's between the ears, man. You don't have think how much time you have to drop back and throw a football in this league. 1 second, 2 seconds.
Less than 2.5 seconds.
It's 2.5. So it's
well, unless you're Jalen Hurts, then you have 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this. I mean, you have to process the play before the play. So some of these guys just aren't doing it. I mean, I see it every weekend.
Well,
that's what
you said it right there.
Caleb's
Yeah, you said it right there. Process the process before the play, right? All mental, 100%. We're just talking about Kyle Murray. Yeah, that is a contract not to play Call of Duty. That's what they're,
It's like you got to see the play. You got to know beforehand what everything's going on. I see it every week. That's what Caleb's struggling with right now. He has all the tools, but he's come from a college system where it was shotgun every play, and he ran the show. It's a whole different thing. So that's what he's struggling with.
Can I give you? It's not the best analogy, but as you guys were talking, it's kind of like kids playing little league baseball where they're starting to like throw their arms out and they're starting to introduce like breaking balls at a young age. Like you only have so much time to get noticed, right? So get that over to even college ball, even high school ball, Drew, that you're experiencing. Like if you're trying to get somebody's eyes, how do you do that, right? You make that highlight reel running play, or that's what can you do really, really well and just focus on that as opposed to grow your skill as a pocket passer. And again, that's maybe that's just indicative of just the world today. We live in a TikTok generation of that's, you create that 8-second video.
No, you said that's it.
Yeah.
That's what's ruining our generation and our sports world. People are looking for the big click hit or the big one-handed catch, but now looking in between the game and looking from sideline to sideline what this guy is doing from a technical standpoint, from a standpoint of being a teammate and an integral part of the team. There's so many things that you can look at, but these kids don't do that because they get an 8-second highlight reel film that they want to send to all the universities and try to go viral. And it's really unfortunate. And that's what got me to walk away from football, from high school football. Now I just do baseball. Baseball is way more relaxing.
No, sure.
Yeah, no, it's a devolving of what SportsCenter started 30 years ago, right? And they get on these little segments, and you used to have segments of Jacked Up and every other segment, and you've got Moss is still out there. But when you're looking at it, though, they used to also break down the games. They used to actually talk about like the actual thing. Now it's one thing, other blah blah blah, and let's go to the next thing, and and it's jumping back and forth. And there's actually a breakdown. And I think I mentioned this, and we had Jaworski on a few years ago, about NFL matchup. If you guys like football and you're not watching that, that's great, but you better get up at like 5 a.m. to find out where it's
first
on.
show on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and
I miss it.
Well, that's
it's been replaced with guys with man buns talking talking to cartoons and shit like that, or bald headed women talking about bullshit. It's and you don't actually get to the sports. It's the sensationalism and it's the attention grabbing. It's the it's the way.
Quick. What's the best way to beat quarters?
What?
No, you didn't see the viral video this week with Jason Brown and Mina Kimes?
I don't.
No.
I did not. But tell me, man.
Go over the top.
I currently don't have
Jason Brown cooked her, dude.
Yeah, I see it.
It's the NFL's equivalent of the NBA is a 3-point shot or a dunk. The mid-range game is gone, and the baseball is a home run or a strikeout. Again, that small ball is gone.
Yeah, you're right.
This is just their way of doing it, right? It's the take out the intricacy of the game and just make it make it the highlight reel. What gets people's eyes? Home runs, dunks, and 3-pointers. Nobody cares about a mid-range jump shot. Nobody cares. They don't try it.
Or
They
baseline
don't
jumper.
build that.
Nope.
Kobe used to do it great. Kobe. Real quick, just around the horn on the trade deadline being Tuesday.
But let's hold on real quick.
Yes.
It's not all about the excitement. Analytics was a big factor in a lot of how these games are played, baseball and basketball.
You know, my biggest problem with analytics, honestly, and I had this discussion with my friends all the time who show me these, like, you know, expected pass, whatever, all this nonsense. At some point somewhere, that is somebody's opinion on what should happen in a situation, right? So this is not, it's black and white. It is not black and white. There is you want to give me QBR, ESPN? Guess what? That's ESPN's opinion of how to put weightings on a formula. It is math. Somebody says this is worth 0.27, whatever. Like someone decided that.
Because analytics will never ever account for momentum, and that's the biggest issue I have with it. Did
you see the college game yesterday?
No.
Where it was, that was a stupid question. I'm sorry.
I did not. Go ahead.
It was the Penn State Ohio game. Okay, Penn State's opening drive had nice momentum. It's fourth and 3. They say on air, well, analytics says if it was 4th and 2, they would go for it. But since it's 4th and 3, they're punting the ball from their own from like the 44-yard line or whatever nonsense that is. God. You're a big dog anyway. You go for it. You're moving the ball. Like what is going on? Like I mean, there's analytics, and then there's just being absolutely idiots.
Well, so
and that shows.
But the analytics is okay. So other previous teams in similar situations, what was their success rate in a completely different stadium and different weather and different different talent?
Well, weather's factored in a lot of analytics. But hey, look at this hat right here, right? Yeah. Everybody gives the manager a bunch of bullshit and everything like that. He's never made the lineup. It's done by analytics. The front office tells them who's the lineup today based on analytics. Absolutely. The matchup is caught. That's how most Major League Baseball teams are run now. It's front office projecting what the stats should be for that player against those pitching matchups, and it's absolutely dog shit. They made a move in the series against the Dodgers. So congratulations to Dodgers fans, they won. If you know the pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies could throw a ball to home plate straight, you wouldn't have won the damn World Series. That's a whole other situation. But that's the problem. Like every day they nitpick to the minutia of analytics, where it shows where it doesn't even make sense no more because you're not factoring everything else.
So you guys are big hockey guys, right? Analytics is in hockey too, right?
I went to a hockey game this year, bro.
Who was it?
It was the Kraken versus the Flyers.
Okay, I think the Flyers won that game.
Absolutely, and I bet on it. So
there you go. So in hockey, in hockey analytics, okay, you guys are big hockey guys. Drew, you don't watch much hockey, right?
I don't. No,
okay.
No.
What is more likely to result in a goal? A shot from directly in front of the net or a shot from the blue line diagonally?
Good question. I'd say the net.
The net.
Right. Okay. So that's called a high danger chance as opposed to a low danger chance. Yes.
Really? Why?
Because you are in front of the net. You are more likely to score closer you are to the net in a prime shooting area.
Oh, okay.
So the point I'm trying to make to you is like that's analytics in hockey. It's like, okay, the more high danger scoring chances you can generate and prevent, the better off you are. It's not rocket science. When the stuff in football with EPA and everything else, like it's just like, oh, well, you're at the 42 and this is what so we think that this play should get 7.6 yards. Like, no.
Who's doing great in hockey right now?
Not the Rangers.
Oh, when's the season end?
The actual season ends in mid-April. Then the playoffs start, which is a whole different game.
Gotcha.
Playoff hockey is not regular season hockey. Actually, people care. Again,
I gotta get into it.
I'll get you a Rangers hat. I swear to you, I'll buy it for you. Real quick, trade deadline. Give me a deal you think should be made, or who should go where. Anything. Give me just one thought on the deadline. Anything at all, other than don't give up a bunch of stuff for Jalen Waddle.
Cowboys give whatever Cincinnati or the Raiders need to get one of their edge rushers, second round, third round. Give all the picks that they got for the Michael Parsons deal and get it out there because they had a couple games with decent edge rushing, but now it's gone. So you better get something going.
Interesting.
If the Cowboys lose today, does that change MO into Tuesday?
No.
Would it be what would it be? 3-5-1?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think their record will dictate their move. It would be, those moves should already be trying to take place. You know what I'm saying? You're not waiting to the end of the game on Monday to make a Tuesday move.
Well, no, what I'm saying, yeah, but
they should already recognize their shortfalls and be like,
yeah, but your shortfalls are 3-5-1. Like, okay, if we fix it, does it matter?
Well, maybe if Dak gets T-boned or something like that.
He's
me with a good time.
I'm gonna go a little different this one. I was gonna say I got two, but I was gonna say I think Kansas City will eventually get Breece Hall. But the second one for me, I'm gonna go a little different here. Houston's O-line has been a little bit better as of late. I know they need a piece. I need a lot of pieces for the O-line, but I'm gonna go Houston Texans get wide receiver Jalen Waddle.
4
draft picks.
But if you're Houston, like, are you giving up potentially a high 2?
I think so.
Okay. Right.
Give Nico a running mate. Nico needs a running mate.
Well, they did draft Jaden Higgins. Tank Dell's hurt. I mean, they did try. I mean, Christian Kirk, I think, is
they got Noel and Higgins in the draft. I mean, they have a lot of draft capital invested into young receivers, and
they've been trying to help Stroud out.
And then you have Tank Dell coming back. I think it'll be, I don't know if how bad they are on Higgins and them guys, because I don't know if they're subject to CJ Stroud's regression as well. So Buffalo receiver in Buffalo, Coleman isn't getting it done. They need something. Won't be Waddle though.
I can see that too.
I was going to say that also. I mean, I've been preaching that Buffalo needs help on the outside. Even the Steelers, a team like the Steelers. I mean, if they want to contend in that division and their defense just isn't playing well, they're going to have to score some points. So even the Steelers may be getting some help on the outside. If they could get a receiver from someone.
They were linked to Olave in the offseason.
They say Olave's not going anywhere.
Well, that's just dumb.
They're going to sign him.
They say Olave is staying. Who's the? I mean,
Mickey Loomis,
Jerry Jeudy. Is he going to be available at some level? Out there. If unless Steve Senior is doing any evaluation,
just again.
I think Judy's a good talent. That if he's put somewhere, he could really produce. I mean, you saw when he played with Flacco. I mean, when he had a competent quarterback throwing the ball on time.
He's only 26.
I mean,
he still has plenty of time to develop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was saying, I mean, you have to look at kind of like the sellers too, really, of what we got going on here. Because can the Giants move on from a guy like Slayton or Wan'Dale Robinson to kind of develop, to add more pieces to the puzzle? I mean, they're pretty much done. It's I like to say, like, so guys here, like, you're probably going to be underwhelmed by some of this stuff, like a Jacoby Myers deal or something like that. That you're just like, okay, for some of these receivers. I think they're more interchangeable once they learn the offense, obviously, but then actually trying to replace some of these, it's very hard for a team to have a stockpile of like stud linemen, where they can get some
O-line.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. O-line.
Keeping them.
That's what I want the Chargers to go for, is all offensive line piece, but I just don't think you're going to find one at all.
They're so valuable.
They're so beyond valuable.
You watch the play of linemen every week, and it's like, you can't get rid of them if you have them.
No, you can't. I would love to see the Chargers go for Jalen Phillips. I think it'd be a great piece to have in case Khalil Mack wants to retire. I hope he doesn't, because I think he still has a lot of juice left in that tank. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. I don't think it's gonna be that much of an active trade deadline.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
We'll start the slate of games today in Cincinnati, where the Chicago Bears will try to go to 5-3 against the 3-5 Bengals. They are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. 51.5 is the number. The Bears are averaging 154.3 yards on the ground since week 5. Then their bye. That's third in the NFL. Jamar Chase has had 10-plus receptions the last 3 weeks. The only player to do it 4 games in a row, Calvin Johnson. Could happen today. We'll see. Anthony, Kyle Monangai getting the start today at running back, I believe.
He is, Brian, and I feel confident, especially against this Bengals defense today. I think he can be very productive.
Hold on real quick. Hold on. Adam Schefter, the 2-6 Browns will be buyers at the deadline.
Interesting.
Sure, as you were.
Build for next year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No,
buying draft picks, maybe. I don't know what.
Hey, that could be true. That could be true.
Should buy a clue while they're at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brian, they're going to need all these rush yards because after last week, I'm a little concerned watching Caleb. I think he digressed. He didn't play too well, and I think this is a very important game for him. He's going to have to show out. This is the defense he has to show out against to get people back on board because a lot of people are losing confidence right now. They're watching Drake May play really well, and obviously we've seen Daniels. I mean, he's having a down year, but I think Caleb really has to show out today, and it's going to be a tough one. I'm not very confident today. Joe Flacco is playing. Obviously, you see they have the weapons. The Bears defense not really that good. They're not taking the ball away. They're a bottom in the late 20s defense. So pretty concerned today. So with that being said, I mean, I'm going to take my squad. Give me the Bears -2.5, but I'm not feeling confident.
I have a couple of things to say about this game. About the Bears. I'm very pissed off at how the Bears defense has looked this season.
I mean, to their defense, they're missing guys all on the back end. I mean,
they are.
They have a full secondary of second and third string guys right now.
I get it. I just from a pass rushing perspective, I was looking up at the stats. And they're not even like even touching the top 15, which is kind of annoying to me. The Caleb Williams, I remember a couple years ago when we talked about it before the draft show, how we felt that his reading coverages was a big weakness for Caleb, as we saw in the last year of USC when he was crying in the stands with his mom. I just think the talent's there. I just don't know what is it going to take for him to get over and understand how to play this game in the NFL, especially being under the tutelage of Ben Johnson. Do we question Ben Johnson? Do we question Caleb Williams? Because this is going to be his second head coach, really his first head coach from an offensive side, because we know how bad that was last year. How much time do we give Caleb if it's still going to be an up and down seesaw type of production we're going to see this year? Because he has the offensive talent around him. He has the offensive line besides right guard, I would say. Just looking overall in the Chicago Bears landscape, I have a lot of questions than I do have answers as we're about to head into the midway point of this season. With that being said, I'm going Cincy today for a win. I just think they have nothing to lose. Flacco is active, and we're going to see Jamar Chase get at least over 10 catches. That's one of my bets today on prize. Other than that, man, I'm going Bengals. I'd like to hear what Quig has to say about Caleb.
Can I just say one thing? If you're watching the Bears, like their success rate on offense when they come out, their first 15 scripted plays are always run, and they look great. It's what's going on after that which is really concerning. After these scripted plays is when you see the ball not coming out on time and missed assignments. So it's really frustrating. Yes, Brian.
Is that a between the years thing on Caleb?
Yeah. Right now, I'm starting to lean that way. Every play looks very difficult for him. It looks very chaotic. Nothing looks very smooth.
Chaotic's the perfect word. Chaotic's the perfect word.
And it feels. Yeah, he's not comfortable when he's back there. It looks like.
Yes.
And then that shows you exactly the difference between Ben Johnson and what Caleb Williams is, right? Because Ben Johnson's getting him prepared to play. He is because those scripted plays, Caleb Williams looks good and he's getting them done.
Yeah.
The problem is when it's you have Caleb Williams on his own and he's not comfortable and he regresses to what he was in USC. holds the ball too long, wants to run around, is unsure where to go with it, and then makes a bad pass. So that's what we're kind of looking at. So now, is it a developmental thing? We'll see. You have to give Ben Johnson more. If Ben Johnson's doing a good job with them 15 plays, you see how it could extend over a year. So it's going to take some time. So I think it's a positive that Williams can perform under those circumstances, but you just can't have him regress to what he used to be. This game, I like the Bengals. I think the Bengals offense is going to keep motoring along with Flacco there. The running game has improved. Chase Brown has a pulse now. Ryan is getting in there too. So I think what you see there, you're on an upswing on that. Manon guy, everybody loves him. You want to throw him against the Bengals defense. I think he has limited ability as far as overall as a running back. Decent hard runner, goal line guy, that kind of stuff. But I don't think he's a move the chains kind of guy. And I think that Bengals win this one in a shootout. I'll take the 2.5, buy it up to 3, and buy the over under down to 51.
Joe Flacco was asked what he thought about the Bears coming in.
Fuck the Bears! Fuck Chicago! Fuck you!
Oh, listen, I will say this. You will not be pleased if the Bears if Caleb Williams can't do what a Justin Fields-led Jets team did last week and go into Cincy and get a win. Like, that's just going to be annoying.
Yeah, today's a big game, Brian. Today's a big game for the
You got to win the game.
He's going to do it last week against New Orleans. Who has another bad defense.
You got to win the games you're supposed to win.
Hey, by the way, what's the update on Jalen Johnson, Ant? Is he out for the season?
They're not confirming it. He can't get on the field. He got hurt again. So
what's his injury?
It was his hamstring. His leg it's a lower injury. I think it's his hammy or something like that. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not creating turnovers, that's the only reason they were winning those 4 football games in the stretch. I believe they had 10 plus turnovers that they created. So if they're not turning the ball over, getting the ball, I'm sorry, they're not stopping anybody.
We're staying in the NFC North in the divisional battle between the Vikings and Lions. The Lions are a 9.5-point favorite today. 47.5 is the number. Justin Jefferson averages over 120 yards receiving per game against Detroit. That's the most by any player against one team with at least 10 games. Hutchinson leads the NFL with 3 strip sacks. He'll have an opportunity today. We talked about J.J. McCarthy making his return to the active lineup. This is not really an ideal spot to be coming back, but that's the way the schedule breaks down. I don't think Minnesota wins today, but I think if you're a Minnesota fan, you just want to see him look the part, right? I mean, you want to lose by 10 to whatever. If he looks okay, you can live with it and move on, to me.
I think this is going to be a fun game to watch from a Detroit perspective, because every now and then Detroit will hit you with that game where everybody
50
gets
points. 50 burger.
Right. And everybody gets involved. And I think it's kind of been, I see guys like Laporta, I see James Williams stepping up this week as well. They had some time to kind of get everything right. Yeah. 5 touchdowns today, probably 5 different guys, and I think it's going to be a fun game to watch from a Detroit perspective. Minnesota's going to have to throw up, I mean, you're looking at, they're not going to be able to run against Detroit with the running backs consistently to keep the game where it needs to be as far as a close game, blah, blah, blah. They're not. It's going to be a track meet from the Detroit perspective. It's just a bad recipe for Minnesota today. Not touching any of the Jetta, not making the move on him at all, not touching anything on the
you don't know what to expect. Don't know what to expect.
A lot of the unknown.
Yeah.
So 9.5 is pretty disrespectful in season game, in division game, but not touching that port.
I think Detroit's going to absolutely put belt to ass to Vikings today. It's going to be disgusting when we see the box score after the game is done. I just honestly, the Chargers, they beat I think that was the last game Vikings had, right? 37-10. I honestly don't see JJ going to be able to do much against this defense of Detroit. And I want to throw a little nugget here, dude. The biggest talk, one of the biggest off-season talks was how's Dan Campbell going to overcome losing 2 coordinators and Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. I think he's doing just fine. I think a lot of people were talking a lot of shit about him.
Well, after week one,
And-
there was a lot of questions.
Yeah, they thought
There
the
was,
sky falling.
but that's why you wait till the season gets going. And now they're halfway point. They're 5-2. They're I don't know what's Green Bay. Are they tied for first?
1-1.
No,
So is Green Bay ahead because of the tie? Okay,
Yeah.
so the Lions are right in the thick of things. So I'm really excited to see how this Lions team is gonna be in the second half. But also, Brian, Aiden Hutchinson, it takes a year
Mhm.
to fully get back to yourself. He's still a valuable threat.
Oh, yeah. Great player.
Even though it hasn't been a year since he torn his ACL. I'm excited to see how this defense is going to grow in the second half of the season because the Detroit Lions are making me big time believers again in the NFC.
This was just, I missed this comment. Sorry for Alex Begon. Not a bad pass. Got to give him quick dump options to bring out this, but this is related to Caleb. Force defenses to stop charging him like that. He will suck if his plays are always long, drawn out plays. He's only trying to do plays asked of him. Line not that great. Got to do better than that when play calling. And just response.
Yeah, I disagree with some of that. I think the offensive lines played really well. I like the play calling. I think we discussed it. It's what's going on after these 15 scripted plays and his decision making. So, yeah, that's just how I feel with that. As far as this game, I mean, I'm taking the 9.5. I think Detroit wins this game easily. I like Amon-Ra today. I like his yardage, and I like him for an anytime touchdown. He runs it up on Minnesota. So, yeah, give me the Lions today. They're just too much.
The Lions should win today, but they're going to keep tabs with the Packers, who are a large favorite today. 12.5 at home against the 4-4 Panthers. I'm not sure if that's disrespectful to a team that's 4-4. The Carolina's only allowed 14.3 points per game in their 4 wins. The Green Bay offense is pretty good. Tucker Kraft leads all tight ends, averaging 67 yards per game. The funny thing about Green Bay to me is they had a lot of hype coming out early, and then it felt like it kind of fell off a little bit. I think that tie with the Cowboys and that loss to the Browns really just kind of derailed, because this is the NFL. It's week to week. Everybody gets from 6 to midnight, or they lose it. This is a spot where Green Bay, I don't think, does overly well with high lines. I think they're 3-4 against the spread, and they've been favored in every game this year. Draw your own conclusions on that. I don't doubt Green Bay wins the game, but that line seems very high for a Panthers team who A, has defended very well the last little bit, but B, does really well on the ground, right? So they're going to be able to kind of control that clock a bit, keep that offense off the field. It seems like it might be a 10-point game, not a 13-point game, for what it's worth.
Whoa. I thought Green Bay Packers had the best defensive ever now that Michael Parsons is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised Packers are 5-1. I think it's been an interesting ride with them, and I think this line is completely disrespectful. Bryce Young is back, which I'm not a big believer in, but at least their offense is. And listen, they're all in on Rico Dado now, right? He's getting the lion's share of everything. But this is crazy. I mean, this Panthers team, besides last week, when Young was out, has shown some fight for the most part. But there were some silly lines last week, and actually kind of proved right. So I guess Green Bay is going to win this big. I guess they have their receiving core healthy now. Josh Jacobs is a little bit better from some of the injuries he's been banged up with. So 28-14 game, it looks like. Expect Jacobs to get into Josh Jacobs 2 touchdowns this week.
2 touchdowns this week.
All right, he's calling it again. 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, real quick. Yeah, I think the Packers cover this game. I just think they're just going to be too much. Even though the Panthers could run the ball, I think running against that Packers team is going to be pretty tough in Lambeau. So give me the Pack today. Yep, give me a Jacobs touchdown. I think he gets in.
Yeah, give me Packers too. I'm with Quade though, man. team is just disappointing, dude. Like I really don't like Jordan Love. Like we talked about it last week. I just don't see that dog in him that we saw a couple years ago.
Well, do they really have a signature win this year? I mean, they're like.
No, they tied with the Cowboys. That was signature.
The Cowboys. I mean, who have they really beaten? I mean,
I don't know who did they beat. Didn't they beat the Lions? They beat the Lions, right?
Week one.
They shut them out.
Yeah.
Well, before last week, they were undefeated at home too.
Are you talking about the Packers schedule you want?
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the Lions the first game. I know that.
27-13 home against the Lions, 27-18 home against the Commanders, lost in Cleveland by 3, tied the Cowboys. They beat the Bengals 27-18. They beat the Cards by 4, which screwed me out of my 5.5 and $4,000 in a win. And then they beat the Steelers last week by 10.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, so
yeah. I got Packers winning today. I'm with Josh Jacobs all day, like you guys said. Kraft is an absolute beast at tight end. Definitely a interesting. Hey, Brian, go back to the schedule.
Yeah.
What's their second half schedule look like after this week?
All right. They got the so next week on Monday night, they got the Eagles coming in.
Big game.
Okay.
They go
big game.
They go to MetLife to play the Giants. They got the Vikings at home. They go. I'm pretty sure that the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. They got the Bears at home. They go to Denver. They go to Soldier Field. They got the Ravens coming in. They finish up with the Vikings in Minnesota.
A lot of show me games there. A lot of show me games.
1,000%.
It's going to be squarely on. It's going to be squarely on Love to see if their team is for real or not, and if he's a real player. Because they didn't do it last year. And I think there's some questions about it. And nice start this year, but they'll be tested.
Yeah, and that makes a game like today very important because you can't look past the Panthers because you have the Eagles and the schedule coming up.
You have to win the game.
You have to win this game today. You have to take care of business.
I agree.
Interesting game in New England. Eileen asking what we think about Drake May. I'm a Drake May fan. We've talked about that. Going through 3-4 Atlanta at the 6-2 Pats, laying 4.5. The defense for Atlanta has allowed just 149.1 passing yards per game. That's fewest in the NFL. The Patriots have won their last 7 games against Atlanta, including a game you probably remember without me having to give you much more detail than that. Which shouldn't happen again today. So what's interesting about this is with young quarterbacks, and I'm not sure if you guys notice this, and it's happening with McCarthy, I think. Everyone wants to tear these guys down really unnecessarily. And the new thing now with May, for example, is they're looking at the Patriots schedule and they're assigning, the reason that the Pats are 6-2 is because of the schedule. It's because of who they've played, because they haven't played anybody, and maybe they're not really this good, so on and so forth. I will summarize that schedule really quick. They lost week 1 at home to the Raiders. They beat in Miami. They lost at home to Pittsburgh. They beat Carolina. They went into Buffalo and won. They went into New Orleans and won. They went into Tennessee and won. They beat the Browns last week. The rest of the way is not exactly murderer's row. Atlanta at home, at Tampa, home to the Jets, at the Bengals, home to the Giants, a late bye in week 14. Buffalo at home, at Baltimore, probably your biggest 2 games of the year. You got at the Jets and Miami to close it out. Before the year, I said they'd be a playoff team. I've seen nothing to disparage me from that viewpoint. I think he's been playing great. You play who's on your schedule. I was the first person to bash the Eagles on a weak schedule. It is what it is, right? But Drake May's a second-year quarterback, and he looks the part, guys. He looks every bit of the part. Not an easy game defensively today, but they are favored at home.
I put a little something on Drake May to be have the most passing yards today. I think it was plus 3,500 or something like that. I think it's pretty good value. I think he's going to go out there and light it up, and it's quite possible that Falcons do put up some points. If they could get Bijan going. So I like the Patriots today, though. Laying 4.5. I think that's a little bit dangerous of a line there. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. But, once May continues to get some more offensive weapons, which he's going to be without Ramondre Stevenson today, Henderson's getting a first start. Like we talked a little bit offline earlier, that they don't have a lot of faith in him as far as, like, you know, the knowledge of the playbook and running through the tackles and that kind of stuff. So losing that physical traits of Stevenson, you know, might be a little hampering for them. But I think I'm a believer in Drake May, you know, and I think he gets it done today.
You know what, dude? I think Morris actually is my guy that should be fired. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Atlanta is so disappointing when they win these big games, and then they play teams like Carolina, a depleted San Francisco team, and then obviously last week against Miami, they don't win these games, and it's mind-boggling to me. It's like they forget that they have Bijan Robinson. Kirk Cousins should be retired from the NFL. He's not good anymore. I mean, we saw what Tony said last week. Don't trust Kirk Cousins. And the fact that he's making that much money right now is absolutely insane to me. This team is unprepared. They're not serious. They don't want to be contenders, and they should be, and they're not. Thoughts on Vrabel? Vrabel's arguably a top 5 coach in the NFL. It's just insane. Drake May is one of my top 5 MVP candidates heading into this week. He might overtake it number 1, depending on his performance today, which I think he's going to go absolutely bananas. New England's going to win. And Brian, you and I are on the same accord. We said New England's going to be one of our dark horses this year for the postseason. I think they're going to get in, dude.
And one of the things, if I could just save one person a week on their fantasy survivor pool, you know, that's all it was good. I'm glad I could save somebody last week from
saved me.
Well, I can't. Yeah. Hold on. You said I didn't save you?
You saved me.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Morris is a great call too, because they're too mercurial. You know, they look too good at times, and they look awful at times, and you know. That just shows you the instability in the coach, and it trickles down to the team. Vrabel, top 5 coach.
I said arguably.
I agree with, but I don't think he wasn't a top 5 coach when he got let go in Tennessee. I think it was always clear that he was a good coach, and what it just kind of shakes your head up even more of what goes on down in Tennessee. So I mean, yeah, Vrabel's doing what he's doing. He's making tough teams. He's getting them ready to play, and that just trickled over to New England. So, yeah, another mismanagement by Tennessee.
You just look at who they've played, right? These are the teams that they've played so far. You got a loss at home to Tampa that you should have won. You beat Minnesota. You just get beaten to death at Carolina, 30-0. But you find a way to beat Buffalo.
It makes no sense.
And you lose to Miami.
Yeah, crazy.
Like the Jekyll and Hyde with this team, like that.
Inconsistency.
That's just not okay. That's just not okay. You're 3-4 for a reason. Realistically, let's say you should have won this one. You should have won this one, so that's 2 more wins. And you should have lost this. Well, whatever. You can easily.
But how much too are we going to put on Penix as well? You know, I mean, the quarterback has to take some responsibility for the offensive, you know, up and downs. So it's kind of a little bit of both.
I like the Pats today. I know the defense is a bit of a problem. That's the one strength Atlanta has is their defense, but we'll see. I'm going to change the order of games simply because Drew is taking a phone call, and I don't want to take away from his first love. So we'll go to the game at MetLife today. The 5-3 49ers at the 2-6 Giants. Niners laying 2.5 in this one. 48.5 is the number. San Fran is 2-6 in Purdy's last games going back to week 11 of 2024. They have a better record with Mac Jones. Read into that whatever you wish. Jackson Dart, offensive touchdowns 12 since week 4, tied for the 5th most in the National Football League. Listen, there is nothing at this point that is going to upset Giants fans. Nothing. They look like they got their quarterback. They're going to get Neighbors back. Scatterbo might be out of the league in 2 years with concussions. I have no idea, but he'll be back next year. Just the hope of the future has made everything they're doing right now just completely meaningless, in my opinion. Whatever. That's is that just a West Coast 1 p.m. game? Like, I don't really understand why the Niners are only a 2.5 point favorite. Or is that because nobody believes in Brock Purdy? Because I don't. Never have.
Well, the thing is too, it's not really about Brock Purdy. It's not really about CMC because we all believe in CMC, and Kittle's is coming out to something to prove this week. They don't play defense, and that San Fran defense has huge question marks. And Jackson Dart, for everything he is, he shows some gumption to be able to put up some points. And I think that even though Scadaboo's out, Tracy's going to be able to step in and give them a little different level of to hit. They obviously missed the power running game, but I think they'll be fine in that area. Darts don't have to run around and make some plays. I'm going to take the Giants, bump that up to 3 at home. I think CMC gets busy, but you know what? You're gonna have to see if the 49ers defense can hold. And I don't know if I don't think they're going to get off the plane. I think it's just one of them weird games. They're just Pats win.
I like the pick, Ted. I like the pick. I mean, I got burnt by the Giants earlier in the year. They got me with the Chargers coming to Jersey on an early game. They got the Chargers. So, another thing about the 49ers, their offensive line is not good. And that's playing to the strength of the Giants. I hear you here, Quiggs. Yeah, let's go with the Giants today. I'm going to roll with the Giants. I like Tracy. I think he's a good running back. He was playing well before he got injured. He was the guy, and then they got Scadaboo. So, give me a long shot here. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants here on the money line. Straight up win.
Real quick, Drake May, first in the league completion percentage, second in yards per attempt. He's so good. Drew.
Well, Drake May, he throws the best deep ball in the league. He's dropping
to nobody except for Diggs.
Yeah, he's dropping deep balls and he's just dropping them in the basket. So
Drake May dropping his balls on the NFL. Drew, go ahead.
Pause. Let's go with I'm going with the Giants as well. I'm not a believer in the Niners. They're so depleted on. Oh, go ahead. You put your finger up.
No, I was just saying. No, sorry. I was saluting.
Yeah, they're so depleted on both sides of the ball. That D line for the Giants is absolutely disgusting. Brian Burns is having a hell of a year, and my heart goes out to Cam. Man, that sucks. What happened to him, dude? It was a nasty injury. Kind of reminisces of Dak a couple years ago when he did that to his ankle. So prayers to him, and that sucks, man. But other than that, man, Jackson Dart looks good. Had him my number one as a quarterback heading into this last year's draft. They look like they have good chemistry. Look like there's a future around with him. Definitely excited to see how this team's going to be next year. But I'm going to go with Giants here, just based off how bad San Francisco is hurting wise. And I'm not a big fan of Brock Purdy. So,
real nice draft class for them. Tony, you're muted.
Yeah,
okay.
I must have fat fingered that. We talked about Jackson Dart a couple times, right? We liked him about Cam Ward. And I think it was a pretty obvious pick last year going into the draft until the late Cam Ward hype started. But I mean, how great of a fit would Jackson Dart be in Tennessee as well? So it's just every time you kind of say that out loud that we had Jackson Dart over Cam Ward, it kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit more. Like, what the hell was Tennessee thinking?
They fell in love with the run, just like Indy did with Anthony Richardson.
Well, Ward wasn't that guy in Miami though with running.
He didn't run.
Jackson Dart was a much more heavy runner in college.
Look, maybe we look back on this in a couple years and say it was like Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
I'll hedge the under on that.
I'm just Drew, I made a change in the lineup here just for you. The 5-3 Chargers at the 1-7 Titans, and the Chargers are a 9.5 point favorite today. The Chargers 3 straight with 400+ total yards. Tennessee, the only team with at least one giveaway in every game. I just got done saying you got to win the games you're supposed to win. This is a game the Chargers are supposed to win, so all yours.
I'm not gonna spend long on this. Yeah, Chargers should win this game, especially seeing how many of the good players that the Tennessee Titans have left are out this game. Jeffrey Simmons, no threat at all in the pass rush or the run stop from Tennessee on the defensive side. I believe Calvin Ridley is out as well.
Yep.
So I mean, it should you would think it'd be easy cookings for LA, but LA has the Chargers have a bad history of going to the East Coast and not performing well whatsoever. But I'm gonna believe the Chargers, believe in Harbaugh. I think it's gonna be a steady diet of run and pass action. I do want to see they win today. I'm gonna be a huge Texans and Buffalo Bills fan today because Buffalo wins today. That gives Chargers a 2-game lead over Kansas City. And Texas win today. Obviously, we have the tiebreaker against Denver. So we'll jump back into first place. 6-3. I believe next week we have the Jags or Pittsburgh. And that's going to be a tough – we got a tough 2-game stretch, and then we hit the bye. So definitely need this win today. And I'm hoping and praying we get one win in the next 2 weeks to stay afloat in the AFC West. And hopefully, get that division title because, brother, it's been years since we won the division. So
I think it's going to be another year too because I think Kansas City is peaking. But I think it's going to be a battle though. I think it's going to be a battle. I like Quentin Johnson resurrection today. They've been spreading the ball out. He's kind of been out and out, but I think he has a big game today. Tennessee has nothing to play for, and they really don't have anything positive to really say. Quarterback isn't playing good, running game isn't playing good, no receivers are stepping up. Calvin Ridley, Lavi just mentioned, was out. Nothing to get excited for in any aspect in Tennessee. But I think Kamani Vidal is taking the reins in that backfield, which has been nice. He'll have a big game today, and I like Quentin Johnson to go big too. And Arondé Gadsden, the
OG
son of former Cowboy and Dolphins great. He's stepped up too, and he's somebody you could even consider playing in the flex spot today when you look at our fantasy. But shouldn't be any issues today. Chargers should roll.
Chargers should be.
But let me tell you one thing I don't like about the Chargers. Do not ever wear those mustard-looking bullshit-ass uniforms that they wore the other day.
Did he say mustard?
Yeah.
Hold on,
I thought he was talking about the Navy Blues. The Navy Blues are fire, bro.
I got another screenshot of Tony's face.
So as for this game,
don't worry, guys. Xfinity has sent me a text message saying it's going away from my area.
All right.
And as
I keep getting them.
There he goes.
I'm gonna have a nice collection of these NFTs before we're done here.
So yeah, I think the Chargers obviously win this game. I'm looking at two guys though on Tennessee's side that's offering some good value money wise. So they got rookie tight end Gunnar Helm. You could get plus 180 for over 25 yards. He's getting more involved in this Tennessee offense with Ward, so I like that. And another one of their guys, Shiram Dyke. You're getting
the receiver
DK.
Yeah, you're getting plus 112. You're getting plus 112 and plus 190 for 50 yards. So I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball. So two guys, you're getting plus money on the opposite team that's going to need to throw the ball. I think they're two good bets right there, to be honest with you. Gunnar Helm, Texas.
All right. Let's see if we can pick up some clock in the next 3 games before we get to some little ones that are more important. I just read that Aaron Rodgers appears to be dealing with a hand injury. Read into that what you'd like. The 7-1 Colts at the 4-3 Steelers. Colts are 3.5-point favorite on the road. First team in the Super Bowl era to allow fewer than 10 sacks, have fewer than 5 turnovers in 8 games. They're playing low event football to a degree. Pittsburgh, 9 different guys with touchdowns. That is the most receiving in the National Football League. Pittsburgh coming off a loss a week ago. Colts just keep winning games. I have both these defenses in a league, and I am starting the Colts defense.
So am I.
This seems like a game. So for Pittsburgh, this will be 3 in a row if they lose. That's not great. Pittsburgh clearly needs the game more than Indy does, but I can't. Indy's just been good. I mean, it is what it is. Ride the wave.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to bet against Indy right now. They're really clicking on all cylinders, offensively, defensively. Their quarterback's playing surprisingly at an MVP
Surprisingly
level.
is the key word, yeah.
Yeah. So really hard here, but I like the Steelers in this spot today. I like the +3.5. I'm going to take the Steelers +3.5 at home. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think this is going to be a tight game, and I think Pittsburgh has a chance to win. I'm going to take the +3.5 today, though. I think the Steelers hang in this game.
Would you take the Colts at 2.5?
This game worries me because it's a Pittsburgh home game. Like you said, this is 3 in a row. If they lose, I think they're up against it. I feel more confident taking Pittsburgh 3.5.
Well, Pittsburgh's going to be 4-4 after this game is done because I just don't believe in them at all, especially against the Indy sneaky ass good defense, top 10 defense. We talked about it last week. They showed it again. JT's on an MVP run, like I said last week, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. Daniel Jones is playing the best football we have ever seen him play at the quarterback position. Shane Steichen is becoming a name, probably my head candidate for Coach of the Year. As these Colts are 7-1. Also, love what the owner's doing. Everybody keeps on. You can make fun of that chick all you want, dude. I love what she's doing on the sideline. She's learning the game. She's trying to understand the game the best to her ability. I love that she's on the sidelines, like I said. And it's just the Colts are a solid team that are winning in every phase of the game that you could think of when it comes to football. Every player is contributing to their success. And like I said, I can't say enough about Shane Steichen, man. He's putting these guys in position to win. And I'm excited to see how far these Colts can go. But I definitely have them winning the game today. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen, brother.
Tony, quick hit on Colts Steelers.
Should be a high-scoring game. You guys hear me okay? I had to jump onto the mobile with the 5G because Comcast is still playing games.
So clear.
Perfect. Listen, Pittsburgh should be a fun game. I like a big DK Metcalf game today against the Indianapolis Colts D that's been given away, and I expect Giant Taylor to keep doing what he did. Jalen Warren's definitely been an underrated fantasy guy. Definitely want to try to get him in your lineup if you can, although he hasn't been scoring touchdowns. But it's going to be a big test on the road for a Colts team that's 7-1. I'll see if Danny Dimes is the real deal. And, I like the way Aaron Rodgers is playing. He's showing a little bit of mobility out there and makes him a lot more dangerous.
Indiana Jones, they call him now. Last of the 1 p.m. games, the Broncos 6-2 at the 3-4 Texans. Houston's favored in this game, 1.5 points, over under 40.5. Bo Nix has touchdown passes in 16 straight. That's the third longest active streak. Houston's defense has been really good. They're allowing just 14.7 points per game and just under 267 yards in total. I don't know if you can. You kind of got to bring down your expectations. I think for Nix, for Sutton, for most of your Broncos, if you're playing them in fantasy in this game, it should be a low scoring game. I don't know that I would take Houston in that low scoring game, but it should be a lower scoring game if you believe the numbers.
I like the Broncos. I mean, the defense is playing better. Mixing in RJ Harvey on offense gives them a different look. Franklin's been the man, and you still have Sutton out there that tries to, move the chains for him. So Broncos look good, even though I think Dallas had some opportunities last week to beat them. It was more of an ineptitude by Dak than anything else. So we're looking at a game where I just think I like Bo Nix and the Broncos defense, even though Surtain is out. It should be a big Nico day, which hasn't happened too much this year. But I think that's more of an issue with CJ Stroud than anything. So Nico should thrive against the Broncos, but I still like them to shut them down overall as a team. I don't trust a running game with Chubb and Woody Marks at all against this Broncos team. So I'll take the Broncos getting 1.5.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Broncos here. I'm going to go Broncos on the money line and getting a little bit of value, +112. I think that Houston, obviously both two good defenses, but I think a mismatch here is Denver's defensive line against Houston's offensive line. They're really, really bad. They're not good. I think that's going to be a problem for Stroud. So, yeah, give me the Broncos here, +112 on the money line.
Yeah, I got Denver as well. I would love to see Houston win this game, obviously for personal reasons, but as a sports box analyst, ain't no way I'm picking the Texans over the Broncos. I think the Broncos they're too good, man. Nick Bonito, what a year he's having this year. Absolute dog. I know they're out of PS2. PS2's gone for now 4 to 6 weeks, I believe was the timeline with his injury. So I think that might help for other teams, but the Texans they're not built to win this game, not currently. Going to go Denver here as they go to 7-2.
This should be a pretty quick one. The 4-3 Jags at the 2-5 Raiders, laying 3 on the road. They're 1-6 after a bye since 2018. Genty leads all rookies, 13 carries to 10+ yards. Travis Hunter's going to be out for 4 games minimum. We'll see where that goes. If you're Jacksonville, listen, if you don't win this one, just pack it up. Period. I don't know how else to say it.
I think this is weird though. With the Hunter going on IR, I mean that was just a weird move by them. Maybe they're trying to figure out what to do with him. I don't know. It's something that I do like the Raiders to Gentry, but I think Etienne has a big game today. I know you were talking about benching him earlier, Brian. I think that would be a big mistake. I think he actually kind of thrives today.
I took your pick.
Brock Bowers' first game back from injury. I think he is active today. That's gonna help Gino a lot because he needs everything he can to even be productive as of late. Gentry, we don't know what's going on with the Jacoby Myers trade. I think he's gonna play today. I think they're gonna play all their dogs today. I'm going on a limb, dude. I'm going Vegas today. I'm going Vegas over Jacksonville. I don't buy into the Trevor Lawrence hype that whatever it is still there that's left there from our amazing owner of Sportsbox or co-owner. I don't want to get in trouble. And then
doesn't matter.
And then Jags' line has not been great.
Did you see a report about Trevor Lawrence being sick today, Drew?
I did see it. Yeah. I was just about to bring that up too. But I'm with you quick. I understand it. I do think Etienne's going to have a pretty decent day today. But BTJ should eat today. But other than that, right? I'm still going Raiders, man. I think the Raiders are going to just pull something out of their ass and get a dub.
Yeah, Drew, I can see it happening. I'm not staying away from this game, obviously, but yeah, I like both running backs today in this game. I like Genty and ATN, and I need Brian Thomas Jr. to step it back up. So
I'm right there with you, brother.
Would you play ETN over any one of the following? J.K. Dobbins, Chase Brown, James Cook, Javonte Williams?
I think Chase
just throw that down for me.
What? Say it again?
J.K.
Dobbins, yes.
Dobbins, Brown, James Cook, Javonte Williams. ETN over any of them. Or would you play ETN in a flex over Trevor?
I'd play him over J.K. Dobbins. I think that
I play more J.K. Dobbins too.
RJ Harvey, which a lot of guys, especially dynasty guys, kind of reached out on and a little bit earlier than should. They're finally starting to get paid off of how they're integrating them into the offense, and I would be that. I'd take ATN over that.
Houston's run defense is nasty.
Would you play BTJ over Sutton, JJ, or Lamb?
I don't play BTJ at all. I don't want him on my team.
Okay. Just checking. It's all good. It's all good.
Not Lamb. Lamb's going to eat against Arizona.
Well, my survivor pick today is the Rams. You want to know why? They're playing the Saints, and they're a 14-point favorite at home. The Saints have not had a rookie starting quarterback win a game since 1981 when I was not born. The Rams defense has 4 games this year with 4+ sacks. I'm going to go on a limb and they're going to make it 5 today. Love the Rams defense. Love the Rams in this game. Anything you want to say about this one?
I'm on you, Bri. They're my survivor pick as well.
Welcome back, Puka. Welcome back, Puka.
My survivor pick was Thursday night. We're Baltimore.
There you go.
I get to relax today. Ooh. And I also little nugget here. We get to see the rookie make his first start today for Saints. Good luck to him.
So he what did he come in? He came in the first half, right?
Yeah,
the second half. Second half.
Okay, so it was that late. They made the change at halftime because I know they should have been doing this a while, but might as well get it done against the Rams, right? Jared Verse is going to kill him.
Game of the day. 5-3 Chiefs, 5-2 Bills, and the Chiefs are favored in Buffalo by 2.5 points. KC has scored 28 points in 5 consecutive games. James Cook has 4 games this year with 100-plus rushing yards. You know, the Bills beat him in the regular season. It's different in the playoffs, but they beat him in the regular season. This is what you're watching today.
It's kind of surprising that these teams are 5-2 and 5-3. Honestly, that they have combined for 5 losses already at this point of the year. But watching them how they've been doing it, it's not too surprising. Chiefs are firing on all cylinders right now. I don't know if that run game that the Bills are trying to establish can keep up with what the Chiefs are doing. I mean, he has all his weapons right now in the Chiefs, except Pacheco's out, but their running game isn't what they relied on anyway. So Hunt's there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire sighting in Kansas while it'll be in Buffalo, but on the active roster, which is a little weird. I don't know what Buffalo could do to win this game, to be honest with you. Chiefs are playing too well at home in Buffalo. I guess you get that part, but they killed Carolina, which I guess is a positive. But you're gonna have to see how it goes, so it'll be interesting.
I agree, Tony. This Chiefs team, they're just about to start peaking. I mean, they look really good, and the Bills, they struggle in some areas still on defense, and I think Mahomes could take advantage of that. And you see it in the line. The Bills not favored at home here, so give me the Chiefs tonight. Give me the Chiefs today. I like Xavier Worthy. I think he's gonna have a big game, couple big plays against that defense. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs. I won't be betting against the Chiefs much the rest of the year.
It pisses me. It just pisses me off, dude, because you have
doesn't it?
You had 6 you had 6 games, right? 6 games where they could have easily lost against the Ravens, but the Ravens didn't have Lamar, where Lamar went out the before they say they ended up getting cooked in that game when they didn't have Rashid Rice. It just sucks, man, because once again the Chiefs are all firing on all cylinders, and I said it before, dude. Like when everybody was talking about, oh, they're done, like this, I'm like, no, they're not, dude. Like they're literally getting a monster that can make the argument of being a top 10 receiver if you didn't have off the field issues. Rashid Rice is that dog, dude. He's that good. Like, go watch his tape. It's insane what he's able to do. And from a route running perspective, he takes a lot of attention away. He's able to give Kelsey the one-on-ones. He's able to give Worthy the one-on-ones. And they don't – KC doesn't even have a running game, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. They're firing all cylinders. The left tackle, the rookie left tackle hasn't played. He's a personal friend of mine. He's going through some stuff with family. He'll be back soon, Josh Simmons. And he's going to absolutely destroy when he comes back. And then their defense is just nasty, dude. It's just – it effing sucks. I hate it. But, it's life, bro. It's just – they're so good. And you got to give them props, dude. Like, we don't talk enough about Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton is just a freaking animal, man, that could just be a run stopper and be a coverage linebacker when he wants to be. It's insane. So yeah, I got the Chiefs winning. I think Buffalo has too many weaknesses on defense, and it's just not going to be enough to overcome. I got Patrick Mahomes and company going freaking 6-3.
Packers took both Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed over Rashid Rice. Imagine Rashid Rice in Green Bay. Just a thought.
Oh my God.
I don't think no, stop. Time out. No, stop. Absolutely ridiculous assessment.
I'm just
a ridiculous assessment.
Why? I'm giving you a fact.
Because Jordan Love is not Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
You can't say Rashid Rice.
Imagine Rashid Rice in Green Bay. That's all I said.
Listen, Matt Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Devontae Wicks, Christian Watson, blah blah blah. Rashid Rice falls with all
Tucker
those
Kraft.
guys. With all the Rashid Rice falls in line with all those guys if he's not with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just reporting facts. All right, real quick, Sunday night before we get to the Monday night game, Seattle at Washington. 5-2 Seahawks, 3-5 Commanders. They're laying 3 on the road. Seattle's allowed 90 or fewer rushing yards in 6 straight, which should bode well, but the Commanders are averaging just under $140 on the ground, third most in the league. Jaden Daniels is back. Terry McLaurin is not, who is just cashing checks and not showing up for work. I lean Seattle here. I don't. I think that Darnold just has a huge game. JSN triple digits, 2 scores like that. That's the way I look at it.
I think your assessment's right. I like a lot of scoring in this game, but I'm going to give Jaden Daniels some credit with his legs to kind of make things happen if he's healthy enough to run around, unabated. So I do like Seattle to win, but my best bet on here is the over. And yet JSN just goes absolute gaga over this game.
Yeah, well, I'm on board with you guys. Seattle, I think they're just too much offensively. I think they're a really balanced football team, even on the defensive side. And I think the Commanders are going to be struggling on the offensive side with weapons for Daniels. And I still don't think he's 100%. So, give me JSN and the Seahawks. Quick question. Love today or Sam Darnold?
Flip a coin. You're probably fine regardless.
Darnold.
I like Darnold. I think it's more consistent in the passing game.
I have him in because I have JSN. So I got.
Oh yeah, then go Darnold. Get the double
Get
points.
the math, yeah.
JSN is number 1 right now in all receiving stats. He's an absolute freaking dog. He's a beast, and he's probably a top 5 route runner, top 3 route runner in the NFL. He's just amazing in what he does, man. Sam Darnold's playing great. They got a good 2 running back system going with what they're doing. Everything's working. Mike McDonald's another candidate, Brian, for Coach of the Year. The Seattle's defense, it's amazing what they've been able to do in the turnaround since Pete left. Got Seahawks winning. They'll go to 6-2. And we'll go from there.
I am really super excited that I took Jordan Addison over JSN in a dynasty draft because I didn't like Geno Smith. Anyway, Monday night, 2-5 Cards, 3-4 Cowboys. I mean, whatever. Dallas is -3 in this game. McBride's got 5 catches each of the last 9 games. Dallas, the 3rd team in the history of the National Football League, to score 40 or more points each of their first 3 home games. So that leads to a lot of points. Jacoby Brissett gets the start for Arizona. Listen, again, if you're a Cowboys fan that thinks they're going to make a playoff run, you got to win this game. The spread actually seems kind of low to me. That's actually concerning.
I'm taking everything I win this Sunday today, and that's going to be a lot or positive thinking.
That's it. Man.
I'm putting on Dallas -3. Dak won't play as bad as he did against Denver. Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback on the other team. There's going to be ways to exploit Dallas's defense. Jacoby Brissett is not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, whatever you want to call him, isn't going to be, running up and down the field. He's a guy. I don't think he has that next level of burst to kind of make it a true definition of any kind of issue. Dallas -3, lock it in. Team over, lock it in. McBride's going to eat on some little dump off passes, so I'm going to be all over him as well. It'd be nice to see if Ferguson can get it together. He was MIA last game, but that was more of a Dak thing. I can't see Dak playing this bad at two games in a row. Give me the Cowboys easily. High scoring game on their part, and I think Cardinals put up about 21.
I agree, Tone. I'm pushing all my chips in if I got them on the Cowboys. I'll be safe. I'll buy that.
And if we don't got them, man, we're chasing.
Right? Yeah. So give me the boys. I think offensively they're just way too much. I love CeeDee Lamb. I love Pickens in this game. So let's go with the Cowboys here.
Yeah, I got a bold prediction on this. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the whole season. I think it's just going to be whatever the
line. Calling for more than the 80 points that was
over 54. Yeah. I think it's just going to be one of those just crazy ass offensive steroid games, and I'm all for it. I'm taking the Cowboys for the win. I think Dak is going to have 4 total touchdowns. I think he's just going to eat on Monday night, and Jacoby Brissett, I think he's going to have a solid game as well. But at the end of the day, give me Cowboys and also give me Javonte Williams anytime touchdown.
I like it.
You know what though, Drew? Anytime touchdown is great, but as Ant will show you, The odds aren't there for that, to be honest with you. I think it was like minus 155 last
Yeah,
time I looked.
Yeah.
quick.
You gotta combine them.
I'm not the betting guy. I just said that just to be
gotta
smart.
combine 'em. You gotta
Let's
make the
go
Cowboys.
go for 2 and get that plus money, Drew.
Yeah.
Okay, go for 2. All right, there we go.
Go for first touchdown.
There you go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Do that.
There we go.
Yeah, I crushed the Jeremiah Smith first touchdown yesterday, thankfully.
Nice.
I've been arguing with DraftKings all morning because the receiver from Indiana who leads all college football and all college stats he played like 2 snaps and got hurt, and they had this, early exit insurance, but for whatever reason it applies to everything else but college football. It cost me a 14 parlay.
That's straight.
That was the only thing that cost it to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, I was 3 for 4 with my bet, so that wasn't bad. But that little icing at plus 750 would have been nice. But
Yeah.
I need to go live by you guys and start doing these parlays.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I got plenty of guys who could do business with you, Drew, if you need to.
All right, boys.
Hey, do the thing. Do the Godfather right there.
Yeah.
That offer right there.
Where's it? Yeah, I gotta.
Tell you something.
Where is it?
Tell you something.
I got plenty of guys.
There it is.
to do business
There
with.
it is.
You do me a favor, I do you a favor.
Big touchdown! Big touchdown by KC already, guys.
The Bengals ran it back.
I mean, Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals ran the open kickoff.
Who scored?
House call for Charlie Jones.
Oh, wow.
Look at the game. The day didn't even start. Ant's disgusted.
I mean, does anybody even own Bengals defense that would even make it a interesting day for that? That all that does is screw over a possession for Jamar Chase to be getting
possession.
busy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does that screw up first touchdown too?
Yeah.
I think
It's
so.
not like first offensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right, boys. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll catch you next week.
Drew, I don't know if you're on your way to Nashville or but Tennessee, San Diego Chargers, Tennessee Titans game today. You could get in the game for $5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Get in the
my
car.
God. Oh my God.
See you, boys.
I should have went.
All right.
Should have went.
Great steakhouse down there too. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Good barbecue, right?